Well, hello, and here we are again in my garage, and I finally got the rear lamp sorted out and mounted with this stainless steel bracket. I'm still waiting on some parts to arrive, so I can't really make much progress with the electrics, so instead I've been working on a few small details for the bike. And the first one of those is to make a bracket to mount the ignition barrel somewhere on the bike. So let's see how I made that. And today I'm making a bracket to hold this ignition block in place. As you can see, this is a Harley one, which I tend to prefer to use. They're quite good, quite strong. And I need to make a bracket to fasten this to some point on the bike. At the moment I might put it on the yoke, or I might put it under the seat somewhere, but either way I've got to make a bracket. So I'm going to start. I've cut out a piece of aluminium scrap, marked it out, drilled 2 holes. As always, it's much easier to drill the holes before you start shaping it than afterwards. And now my next step is to cut out the shape a bit more accurately and shape the edges. That's one side done. Turn it round and to the other side. Obviously it's just going to be a bit rough and ready for now, but then we can file it down and make it a bit neater. That's 2 sides done. And now I'll just finish off by cutting around here before I start to file. And here's the bracket. Now all the cutting and filing's been completed, and I'm just about to start polishing it on the polishing mop. So that's the next step. So I'll carry on with this now for another few minutes, and I'll show you what it's like when it's done. And so we're now back home again, and here's the finished bracket for the ignition barrel. And I thought the best place for it would be to come off this little mount here, off the front of the yokes. So it would end up looking something like that, which is quite convenient. But as you can see, there's a problem, and that's this big ugly black cover and this part here of the barrel, which really shouldn't be seen. So we need to make that look a lot better by making a cover for it to match everything else around it. And here it is. It mimics the shape of the rear lamp cover too, which is good. And inside it's got a step, and the reason for that is so that we can slide that over there, and it fits nice and tight on that step, so it can't go anywhere. And with this bracket attached with the lock ring in place, it's nice and secure and firm. It's not going to go anywhere. Sadly for me, the original bracket wasn't quite big enough to match this, so I had to make a bigger one, but that's fine. It didn't take long to do. And there it is now on the bike. I think that looks a lot better. I think this and the bracket could do with a bit more polishing yet. It's not quite perfect, but it's a good start, and I'm pretty happy with that. Or of course I could always move this and put it elsewhere on the bike. I'm not quite sure yet, we'll see. One part of this top yoke area, which is full of stainless steel and polished aluminium, which stands out and lets the side down a wee bit, is this top stem nut. Now on the standard bike, this nut will be visible. It will be covered by the handlebar and the risers and so on. But now I've got clip-ons, it stands out like a sore thumb, so I want to do something about it. Therefore, I want to make a billet cover for this, which will match up with the rest of the bike. And so let's see how that can be done. What should we say?
Making a completely useless top cover nut, from my opinion.
From my Moto Guzzi. And we're drilling 12 little holes, or 12 little indentations around the edge.
We've put weight on so that we can lighten it.
Yeah. And the reason for that is because it mimics some of the other parts of the bike that we've made so far.
Nothing like drill holes and things.
Yeah, it makes me happy.
It's not a calf racer if it hasn't got drill holes and things.
Precisely. So once that's done, it's going to go away. So once that's done now, we'll take it out of here, I'll polish it, and it can go back on the bike. And so here we are again back home, and here's the cover. I've given it a quick polish, and it's going to be an interface fit over this nut here. And there it is now on the bike. It's a very tight fit, so I don't think I'll have to worry about that falling off. So I'm pretty happy with that, and it's another job ticked off the list. And the final change this week has been to change the way the chokes work. As standard, the bike had a choke lever on the handlebars which went through a cable down to a splitter, which split that cable into 2 more cables which went down to the carbs and activated the choke. And I got rid of all that by fitting these levers which fit to the top of the carbs. So there's the choke on and there's the choke off, which is much simpler and neater. I'm still waiting for a coil to arrive before I can get started on the electrics, and so hopefully by the time I do the next video this bike will be running at last. Anyway, thanks for watching and cheers.